Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. You're not going to believe this. We're actually going to talk about forced reset triggers and wide open triggers again. Why? Well, yesterday I got a call from a person who had received a letter from the ATF. Today I got a call from two more people who received a letter from the ATF. Is it a nasty little letter saying, hey, you're in possession of a machine gun and we need to talk to you? No. This letter is actually quite different. It's rather enlightening, but one might actually want to think, what took so long for these letters to get out? Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to geek out on that letter and figure out what exactly is the ATF doing as it relates to forced reset triggers and wide open triggers. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about, did ATF just apologize for its trigger fiasco? Okay, America, this is what we're talking about. Yesterday got a call from a guy completely worked up, about to piss his pants, saying, oh my God, I just got a letter from the ATF. It's about a wide open trigger I bought several years ago. They had my old address on it. Now it's got my new address on it. And he was just completely crapping himself. I said, hey, chill out for a second. Send me a copy of the letter. Well, apparently he hadn't read the darn thing because actually had he read it, he would have realized that ATF was really kind of backing way off on this. And then today, got a call from two more people, one local, one somewhere else in the country, and they too had received one of these letters. And of course, since it was addressed to them from the ATF, they initially crapped themselves. And then when we went through the language of the letter, I said, hey, this is actually pretty good news. The letter that ATF has now just sent to, I'm assuming, thousands and thousands of individuals who initially got this nasty letter from ATF saying, hey, you own a FRT or a wide open trigger or something like that, and we believe you're in possession of an unlawful machine gun. The ATF's current position, as published in these letters that these three people got over the last 2 days, states the following. Remedial notice regarding rare breed trigger, FRT 15, and wide open triggers. You're receiving this remedial notice because you previously received a warning notice entitled You May Be in Violation of Federal Law from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF, regarding forced reset trigger devices, or more specifically, rare breed FRT 15s or wide open triggers purchased from Redbeard Treasures, rare breed triggers, or other third-party vendors. Yeah, like Gunbroker and Rifle Remedy 2000, right? We remember all of that. The letter goes on to then state, the warning notice informed you that those FRTs had been classified by ATF as machine guns pursuant to the National Firearms Act. Their manufacture was unlawful, and thus your possession was unlawful under both the NFA and the Gun Control Act. The warning notice further instructed you to contact the local ATF office to coordinate the abandonment of any FRTs, of which many of you did and many more who couldn't abandon actually destroyed. Well, guess what the ATF is now saying? On July 23rd, 2024, that's right, okay, this letter just came out at the end of February 2025, but in the middle of the summer of last year, this is what we learned. On July 23rd, 2024, the United States District Court for the Northern District of Texas held in NAGR v. Garland that rare breed FRT 15s and wide open triggers are not machine guns under the NFA, and as such, their possession is not in violation of federal law. And as you recall, we did cover that case. That was a big, huge win. What else does the letter say? This letter officially notifies you of this judicial decision and is done in compliance with the court's order to mail remedial notices correcting ATF's previously mailed notices warning suspected FRT owners that possession of FRT 15s and WOTs or their components was illegal. Consequently, any duty to notify ATF of possession of FRT 15s and WOTs or their components has ceased. That is huge. What does that mean? It means Operation Reticent Recall, at least as it relates to all of this trigger crap, is officially done. The letter finishes off as, please note, however, that some states independently prohibit the possession of FRTs or trigger activating devices. This notice does not address the legality of FRTs and WOTs under any state law. And that's actually good advice, believe it or not, from the ATF, because yes, many states, especially a handful in just recent years, have passed their own separate bans on bump stocks, FRTs, wide open triggers, binary triggers, and such like that. So you do also need to check with state law. But the bottom line is, America, the ATF has done a big, huge 180. Now, interesting to just think for a moment that even though this ruling was issued in July and it was very obvious that this ruling was dead on arrival, it took the ATF until sometime in the early part of 2025 to mail out the notices. Now, was that just because it was just so much work involved, or is it due to the fact that there has clearly been a change in the governance of both the Department of Justice as well as the ATF? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. The letter that one of my clients received was dated February 19th, but they just received it actually yesterday, which is actually going to be 2 days from the day you watch this video for the first time. Okay, so listen, big news. Shouldn't come as a huge surprise to all of us. We always knew this FRT and wide open trigger rule determination was a crock of you-know-what. The court in the Northern District of Texas had struck it down and had actually talked about absolute vacatur of the rule. And let's also remember that it was the good folks over at the NAGR, National Association for Gun Rights, that led the challenge on this. So kudos to all of them. There will be a link down below so that all of you can show them love as well. Now, listen, we'll go ahead and link up the letter down below. If you got any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. But if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, you click on that link right there and tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.